Hello and welcome to the Side One YouTube channel. My name is Ray, and in this video we're unboxing a AC/DC current probe. So this one's made by Hantek. I've actually got one of their PC attached for channel oscilloscopes, which works alright. I've had it for many years now. And this is the unit. Now, I have had this out of the box. It was wrapped in bubble wrap when it first arrived. Came with a couple of silica gel packets in the box and the operator's manual. Now, the operator's manual is pretty straightforward. Basically, connect it to your oscilloscope, turn it on, adjust your DC offset on it. And there's two ranges that this can be operated in. It's a full-size BNC and it's fully insulated on it. The output going to this is in millivolts per amp. So on one range it's 1 millivolt per amp, on the other range it's 10 millivolts per amp, so you can get a stronger signal. It'll go round a 30mm diameter wire maximum. It's got a green light to say when it's turned on and a red light to indicate when the battery needs to be replaced. It does run on a 9-volt battery, and there's a screw that when you loosen it off lets you slide the cover out to gain access to that 9-volt battery. It does not come with the battery. Battery life is typically 100 hours with a Carbon-Zinc. I've actually got an alkaline in there. Dimensions, it lists as 195mm by 70mm by 33mm and weighs in at 250 grams. So this is not got a lot of controls on it, so your zero adjusters down here, and you can turn it on 10 millivolt per range and push it all the way up for 1 millivolt per amp. There's the range on it. This one's rated up to 650 amps. There is another model that goes up to 65 amps, which is pretty cool. Its accuracy in AC, 100 to 150 amps is like 8%. On the 1 millivolt, one millivolt, 100 milliamp. That's got to be a typo because this doesn't have a 100 milliamp. But yeah, I've actually got some graphs. I've hooked it up to my relatively new oscilloscope. This is a tablet oscilloscope. And it does connect to this very easily, like so. And it is connected. If I turn this on, you can see the yellow trace there, and I can adjust the zero with that zero adjust. Now, I do have some screen captures that I've taken on an industrial site, so let me just switch over to that. Okay, so this screen capture from that oscilloscope with a clamp on, the yellow trace here is actually from the clamp, and you can see it's running 50.04 Hertz. In this case, with it set to 1 millivolt per amp and a 1 times attenuation on the scope, this volt, or these milliamp volts, directly corresponds to amps. So this is 32.2 amps. Yes, I connected this to a big motor. 22 kilowatt motor to be precise, driving a fan. The blue trace here is ground to phase on the same phase, and you'll see that's 240 volts RMS. So yeah, that's where our big power comes from. And here you can note that we actually have a phase shift between the current and the volts, and this is known as power factor. Nearly all induction motors do suffer from some sort of power factor, and large factories that have lots of large induction motors will have power factor correction to fix that at their supply point. One of the things that's also interesting to note is this 91. So 91.5 is a current peak to peak, and it's approximately 2.9 times the RMS value in a pure sine arrangement. So you can actually use this to work out what your power factor is off this current draw. Now the other one that I have is this one. Hang on, let me get down on the right screen. So this was taken on a 55 kilowatt VSD running a screw compressor. In this case, we are seeing 99.7 millivolts, so that's 99.7 amps RMS. But in this case, the voltage peak to peak is 505 amps, using the same, in this case, 244 volts at the same frequency. And we've got a frequency on our current is a lot stranger. It's up closer to 300. And this is actually the current on the yellow trace. And you can see it's a very strange. This is what's known as harmonic distortion. You can see that harmonic distortion is bad enough that it's affecting the voltage at the subboard where I measured this. The thing that brought my attention to this one, and one of the reasons why I purchased this clamp meter, was actually this one. The cable was getting warmer because the peak current is much higher than what you would expect. This one is over 5 times the RMS for its peak, and it's got 2 of these peaks in each half of the waveform. So there is actually no power factor involved here. It is all harmonic distortion. The power factor is actually spot on. It's just all distortion. Most passive power factor correction systems won't actually correct this one very well at all, whereas they will correct the previous one without any hassle. So this adapter is proving to be useful. I've still got a lot more testing to do on site just to see what other problems I've got inherent. And I think this is going to be a useful addition to my toolkit. If you like these videos, don't forget to click on like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. It's a form of support that helps the channel a great deal and costs you absolutely nothing. If you'd like to help the channel further, I do have a Patreon account and YouTube membership, and you can join my VIP patrons Go Lucky, Jeff Jerd, and Keras Cortini, my Builder patrons Al Morales 45, Andrew Cardone, and Airgar 69, and my YouTube member Joel Hoxwell in helping to support the channel. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or drop into my Discord. There is a link below, and ask your question in there and I will do my best to answer it. And we'll see you in the next video.